To successfully extend their brands, multinational news broadcasters must provide viewers with engaging content that addresses their particular needs on television, the web, and social media. Based in Lyon, France, Euronews covers world events from a unique pan-European perspective. In 2016, Euronews decided to make a strategic change to replace their single channel of multilingual programming with 10 individual language channels and 12 websites. They turned to Dalet to assist with this major transformation and implement a highly effective, collaborative, multi-platform production system.
The mission of Euronews is to be the reference for the European affairs, especially on a global perspective.
Our CEO and Euronews management decide to change completely the product, Euronews product, very roughly from one TV channel with one video, 13 audio, we have to go to 10 TV channel, audio video, plus 12 website and all digital platform associated.
Ever since the inception of Euronews, pretty much we've been operating a one-size-fits-all policy because that was the limits of the software that we were using. And I think we found that we couldn't really take our brand, we couldn't really take our product much further within those limits. So we brought in Dalet to allow us to break out of that and to allow us to create a separate identity for each of our language channels.
You need to have a dedicated BPM in order to implement very specific workflow. For instance, we have a very dedicated workflow regarding the multiplex, so the ability to have the same pictures and at the same time different graphics in the different languages, plus the different languages in terms of voiceover.
In practice, what that means is that we can produce a video, we can use it in one language, we can use it in multiple languages, and we can adapt that video according to the needs of the different audiences. So for instance, if we're talking about covering a specific national event in Portugal, the way that we cover that in Portuguese is going to be very different to the way that we might want to cover that in Russia, where you might want to give a bit more background, you might want to explain things a bit more deeply. And Dalet lets us do that by editing together with one cut and cube, adding graphics to the video to explain, and being able to share that video, but also separate out the workflow to work on it according to each journalist in each language.
When you start this type of project, you don't know really in details what will be the target. So it's very important to have a very flexible solution where you can design as you wish the solution for you, for your platform and for your station.
We wanted to have one unique leader software vendor that can answer to all our needs, because in our old workflow everything seemed very slow.
With Dalet, because we've been able to synchronize the production between the TV and the digital, it means we've been able to free up resources to produce content purely for our digital platforms. And that's allowed us to increase probably by around 20% the amount of content that we can produce, but with the same staff numbers. Because instead of doing production jobs, we've been able to automate some of those jobs, simplify them. We've been able to allow the journalists to produce the content, to do those jobs themselves and to publish their own content, and that's made big gains in the efficiency of the workflow.
It's not only 10 different TV channels plus 2 different digital channels. It's more than that, because you can exchange between the different journalist teams the content, and you can share with that the ability to optimize your value on the different territories, and you have the ability to keep your DNA with mandatory content for your news everywhere in the world.
The most positive thing about the Dalet system so far for all the journalists has been their empowerment. They now feel that they are in control of their content. They're not relying on other people to make things happen. They can see exactly how things are going to look online, how things are going to look on social media, how things are going to look on TV, and they are completely in control. The second part is that they have more power then to adapt the content to do what they want it to do, to tell the story that they want to tell, rather than having to tell the same one-size-fits-all story that all the other languages are telling, and the same one-size-fits-all story on each of our platforms. So really it's a question of empowerment and a question of being able to give more identity, more individuality to our storytelling.